Hi everyone, Haley Gant here from Quest Trust Company. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the pros and cons of doing a Roth conversion. So doing a Roth conversion can be a great way to move some of your retirement funds from an account that grows tax-deferred to a Roth IRA which grows completely tax-free. Now, doing a Roth conversion might not be the best move for everyone, but there are definitely some things that you would like to consider if you're thinking of converting your retirement funds to a Roth IRA. Some of the pros of doing a Roth conversion is it could allow you to pay taxes on a smaller amount upfront now and allow everything else in your IRA to grow completely tax-free for the rest of your life. So if you're maybe starting with a small amount, it might make sense to go ahead and convert that over to a Roth IRA before you really start growing those funds. One of the biggest pros of doing a Roth conversion is that it allows everything in your retirement account to grow completely tax-free once you convert it over to the Roth IRA. Another pro of doing a Roth conversion is there is something called ordering rules with Roth IRAs, where basically whenever you go to take a distribution from your Roth IRA, the money is going to come out in certain orders. Now, I'm not going to get too far into ordering rules today on this video, but it is important to note because basically each Roth conversion that you do has its own 5-year clock. After 5 tax years after doing that conversion is essentially treated as a contribution, and you could actually take out those funds before you're 59 and a half without any penalties. The big thing there is it just has to have seasoned for those 5 tax years. Another pro of doing a Roth conversion, and maybe if you do this conversion close to the end of the year, is that you're going to, at that point, have a good idea of where your tax bracket might be for the year. Now, the deadline to do a Roth conversion is December 31st, so if you wait right up until the end of the year and you maybe know about what your taxable income is going to be, we see a lot of people that choose to convert some of their IRA funds to a Roth IRA before the end of the year, so it could be counted on that year's taxes. And last but not least, one of the biggest pros of doing a Roth conversion is that it allows you to pass on that wealth completely tax-free to your beneficiaries. So as you can see, there are several benefits to doing a Roth conversion, but maybe now let's talk about some of the cons, because again, doing a Roth conversion in a particular tax year might or might not be the best move for each individual out there. Now, one of the cons of doing a Roth conversion is that you do have to pay taxes on the money that you convert to a Roth IRA. Now, for some individuals, if you're in a really low tax bracket, it might make sense to do a conversion in that year. Whereas if you maybe have a really large IRA, or if you're in a really high tax bracket right now, it might not make sense to do a Roth conversion, or maybe even it might not make sense to do a large Roth conversion within one tax year. Now, this is something that you want to make sure you review with your CPA or tax advisor, because they can really give you that true tax advice as far as if maybe you should do a conversion this year or wait until another year. Another potential downside of doing a Roth conversion, maybe in the beginning of the year, is that in the beginning of the year, you probably don't have a great idea of where your taxable income is going to be. Now, there's kind of 2 sides to this, where if you do a Roth conversion in the beginning of the year, you have a lot more time until you actually have to pay the taxes on that conversion. If I do a conversion in January, I don't actually pay the taxes on that amount until that tax filing deadline plus extensions, so the following April or October. So you have more time until you have to pay the taxes, but you might not know where your income bracket is going to be for that year. Another potential downside of doing a Roth conversion is that if your IRA funds are currently invested into, say, a real estate asset, sometimes converting an asset from a traditional to a Roth IRA is a bit more of a lengthy process than just converting cash. When you convert cash, it's a 1-page form that you fill out. It's very easy, but if your funds are currently invested, you have to get the asset re-registered. A lot of times you do need to get a third-party appraisal on that property, and there's just a few more steps involved. It is definitely possible. We see people do it, but sometimes that can potentially be a downside of doing a Roth conversion if those funds are currently invested. And last but not least, the only other con that I could think of when you are thinking of converting your funds to a Roth IRA is that if at some point in the future you are looking to open up a solo 401k and you would like to roll your current IRA funds into that plan, Roth IRA funds are the only type of IRA that cannot be rolled into a solo 401k plan. Now, with a solo 401k, you can have a Roth component within that plan, but you just can't move current Roth IRA funds into a solo 401k. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have questions about converting your IRA to a Roth IRA, give us a call at 855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questtrust.com. You can actually chat live with an IRA specialist right there through our website, and we're more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe. We like to post a lot of videos every single week for you guys, and I will see you in the next video.